Hello and welcome to the Predator Eurotour Estonian Open. We're down to the last 32 here in the men's 8-ball. We have Albin Ocean from Austria against Fabio Rizzi from France. In the single elimination stage, we'll be advancing to a race to 10, previously a race to 8. Each player will have 2 breaks. 2 breaks will flip over to the next player. I'm joined in the booth by Tim DeRuyter. Looking forward to a good one here, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Thank you. Definitely looking forward to a good one here. Most of the people probably not too familiar with Fabio Rizzi, but did finish 3rd place in the European Championships 8-ball before. So has at least that experience there to beat the big players. So yeah, we could be in for a surprise or a very close match.
Yeah, Albin's been on a super high break and run percentage all tournament. I've done 2 of his matches. I think we did one together. He was 5-6 in the break and run department. Another one I did, he was around the same number. So Rizzi's going to have to come with a big match here. Get the first break well, but nothing down.
Yeah, possibly hit it too well if you looked at the 2 balls tracking to the side. Quite surprising to see this come up dry.
Albin has choice of the 2 or the 11 here.
Yeah, might be a fan of going 11-13. Then kind of depending on how you get on the 13, you could maybe float forward to play the 10 in the side, and then you have all the stripes in the bottom side of the table.
Yeah, good call. Looking to get straight on the 13 to make that happen. There's a small angle going to the right. Might be able to just play the thick side of the pocket and run through the 4. Too much angle, so play it off into the 14 now. 10's still going to be available in the left middle. Just going to take a couple more shots to get on it. Little in between here, still has the 10, the 15 or the 12. But again, getting a little urgent on getting that small position on the 10 here. I think he has to run into the 9 here, Tim. Possibly getting on the 15 afterwards.
I don't really mind to run into the 9. I mean, could stun full into it. Doesn't have to play too soft. If he catches it full, the 11 or the 10 is always available. But you're trying to push the 9 into the rail and come out just slightly. I think should be fine.
Nice play. Choice of the 9 or the 15 now. 3 ball is going to kind of be in the way of his positional paths, regardless of which ball he takes. Looks like he's going to favor the 9 here. Just make sure he draws the ball enough. Forward. To the left of the 3. Under hit it slightly, a lot. Can't really hold for the 10 here. Could run the cue ball into the 1-4, but risky on the result if he tries that.
Yeah, I kind of did like to go back on the 9, just guaranteeing a shot on the 11. Going forward, that was a little bit less likely. Now, could go around the 8, 3 rails.
I think he might. Too risky to run into the 1-4 again. Nicely played.
Yeah, he has played it really well, though. It's not out of the woods yet. Still needs a good shot here on the 10, but to make sure he didn't run into the 1 or the 8, that was already tough. Now, do you go around the 3 ball 2 rails?
I think so, and there is a window between the 4-7 going towards the 8 in that case. Nicely played.
Yeah.
We've
Tough
seen this
opening
from
run
Albin.
out.
Yeah, we've seen this from Albin in other matches. I mean, obviously his 8-ball knowledge is great, and there's certain racks where he just makes it look easy. But when he does get in a little trouble, his cue ball control is so good that he's able to recover. And that's just led into pretty much flawless play throughout the event.
Yeah, I don't really remember what match it was, but I believe I've only seen him make break and runs on his own break. He's been hitting the break really well. Is one of the biggest breakers in the building, I would say. So that really favors him.
Yeah, and just the pureness of how he hits the rack. He's getting the balls behind the 1 to go back, sometimes both of them. I think we saw him make 5 balls on the break in one of his breaks in his last match. Nothing much to change here for Ritzi. He hit the first break well, just looking for a better result. Hit it well again. There goes the ball behind the 1. Perfect cue ball control.
Yeah, gotta say, first look at the table, I might favor the stripes a little bit more. Do believe you have more opportunities to get to the 10 ball than if you take the solids. I think to get on the 6 ball is quite annoying.
Yeah, if you can get enough right spin into this ball, you could come up to the 12 and try to get onto the 10 quickly. It's got a fair bit of angle going to the left, though. See if you can straighten this one out. I tried half of what I was talking about there. 9-13-10 plays okay now.
Yeah, same thing, just gotta make sure he's straight enough on the 13. Doesn't want to leave himself too much or an angle going towards the top side of the table. So a little bit of an in-between shape.
Would Ritzi be considered the #1 player in France now? Pretty close, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think in France there's a couple good players and they kind of rotate. Have to say, if you consider, for example, Alex Montpellier, who's also finished 2nd in the Oceania Hayball Championships, who's also finished 5th in the European Straight Ball Championships a couple of years back. Yeah, I mean, I think it really just depends on what kind of day it is to say who's the best player in France right now.
Yeah, Alex with a bit of advantage on the experience side.
Yeah, and then now you also have Paul Vilches Bardot, who is still growing. Is quite young still, so still has a couple of years. Could have done with
Yeah.
a little shorter on the cue ball there to have more angle on the 14 to play the 12 still in the left center. Not too sure whether he has a pocket available for this 12, except for the top corners.
Yeah, I can go in the left middle as well. I think he'll favor that. Just power out of the angle here. Get too much angle again. Seeing where the cue ball's playing down. It's going to miss the 5 on the way to the short rail. But it's going to kind of refract towards the 5 back in the middle of the table.
Oh.
Okay. And really, of course, Albin is not invincible, and Fabio probably wouldn't have been keeping track of Albin's matches throughout the tournament. But the reality is how things have gone for Albin so far. Any mistake from Fabio is going to be punished, and he's so dangerous on the break that puts a little bit of pressure on Fabio every rep.
Yeah, as you can see on the other table, Yasmin Ushan currently playing Linnea Hjalmerström from Sweden. Also a good match. 2 Ushans playing on the stream tables. Must be a feast for all the pool lovers around the world.
Yeah, I've often thought in the past of any brother-sister combinations that are really world-class at the top of their sports, and I can't really come up with any. A couple. I've seen twins in tennis, father-sons come up every once in a while, but brothers and sisters don't seem to come up as often. Ball down. Pretty good spread overall. And this has been typical of what Ocean's been producing throughout the course of the tournament so far.
Yeah, could still go solids, just we'll have to figure out the 3 ball. I don't mind the stripes, but the 11-15 are not laying too easy. You would like to get rid of the 13 as soon as possible in order for the 15 to go in the bottom left. But it's not laying ideal. Could play a 15-13 combination, but there's some distance in between, and also in between the 13 and the corner.
Yeah, not an ideal opener on stripes either. Definitely makeable with the combo on the 10, but he'd want the 10 to be hanging over the pocket a little more. Even the way the 14 is going to play off the 10, I don't think he could shoot the 14 second.
Would you consider maybe going solids, play the 2, leave yourself in between the 3-5-4, and then if you get nicely on the 3, you can take that out, and 7 does go to the top right, so I just feel like if you can get on the 3, it's not too horrible.
I'm going to start with the 10 here. We'll how the 14 ends up. He knew that and played a draw around with the 12. That was a smart play there. As we were saying before, he'll want the 13 to go before the 15 and the 11 here. Small possibility of getting over on the left side of the table and shooting either of those balls out of the bottom right. But looks like he'll end up with some angle. Tough to get perfect. Kind of looks like he's considering that. Maybe all the way around them, around the 5.
Maybe softly into them.
This is okay. Smart play there. He can get up into the left side of the table now. So first break for Albin, and looks like he's going to continue his break and run streak. Again, just for the players that haven't seen him play in previous rounds, he's on 75% to 80% break and run percentage. It's just been incredible.
So let's see. Let's have a quick look at the last 32, which is going on at the same time. Couple interesting matchups. Jose Alberto Delgado, who's played on the TV table earlier on, is up 3-2 over Yannick Pongers. Interesting match. Let's see. Kasper Matikainen, just a slight lead. No slight lead. 3 each with Christian Merva from Slovakia. Tobias Bangers is playing Stefan Kasper. Joshua Filler is playing Luca Men. So 2 full German matchups.
Daniel Maciol, the superstar from Poland, still in the tournament as well. 2 balls flipped in the upper pockets. Both sets of balls look okay here. Maybe a slight favor to the stripes if you can get on the 15 quickly. Only obstacle after the 15 will be the 14. Having a look at the 1. In that case, he'll be wanting to move the 2. Just a little worried about the 2 tying up 10. But if he were to hit it at a lighter speed, ideally he'd make the 2 available in the bottom left. Looks like he's going to go stripes here.
Yeah, still would like to go stripes. I mean, if you consider the fact that the 15, if you land on the 15 right away, it's quite decent. He's not too excited, maybe ran slightly too far. If he had gotten an angle on the 15 to draw in between the 8-6, he could have taken the 14 and it would have been wide open. Now a little bit of a detour probably.
Yeah, 15, 13, 14 looks okay here. Doesn't want to be over top of the 1 or the 2. Try to play off both of them. Just 1, that's okay. So we'll play a fair bit of left spin on this to get around the 14. Could choose some kind of stun play, but neither as straightforward as it looks here.
Doesn't have that much on the 13, like you said. Tricky. It is a shot he usually plays quite alright, but you can slightly overcut this by accident. Uh-oh. Think he's in trouble.
Yes, he was afraid to put too much left on it, and I don't blame him. Anytime you're putting spin over that much distance, things can go wrong. Tried like a soft stun to get around the 14, and he's going to be forced to jump at the 12 here. good, and finally Albin not getting all the way out on a reasonable attempt. It's going to be up to Fabio now to try to level the score line. Hasn't left much.
Yeah. Yeah, with Albin having 3 balls on the table, Fabio is kind of forced to go aggressive. I mean, I would really not want to play safe and see if Albin can maybe make another jump or like a long shot. His shot making in general is quite strong, so I'd rather cut the 7 in the side or cut the 1 in the side, but I'm not going to play a safety.
Now the cue ball's playing to the right of the 11 here, and it can open up back towards the 14. A lot of options for solids from there. Yeah, I was worried that he couldn't slow it down if he tried to draw it, and he is further away from all the solids here than he'd want to be. Choice of the 6 in the side of the corner. Looks like he's going to favor the side.
Could play some defense here maybe, if he really does not like to shoot, but he's swinging at the 6. Oh boy.
Yeah, pretty decent stop pattern now for Albin, and early mistake from Rizzi. So Albin taking, so he'll take the early lead here. 8 passes the 3 in the bottom right, so really not much to do with the cue ball here on these 3 shots.
Well, Fabio does have 2 breaks to come to level the score 3 each, but it's never a guarantee. Would have loved to make that 2 each and still having to break twice. Yeah, like almost stop shots. It was kind of like 4 stop shots on that pattern.
Yeah, it's funny how the dynamics of these 2 break sets work. Even if Rizzi is able to level the score at 3, he'll really be actually down in the overall match because the next 2 breaks will go to Albin. A small breakthrough here in the first 4 games for Albin. Fabio looks like he's hitting the break well, so definitely going to have some break and run power going forward in this match.
Well, plenty of movement. Now, let's see. A little bit hampered, a little bit awkward queuing if he wants to shoot the 3 ball. But that might be his best solid. Could go for stripes too if he plays the 12, then it's a little bit less awkward. I like 12, 10, 9, 11, 14, 8. Just this shot.
Yeah, just a couple of strong shots at the beginning of the rack. The last 3 will play really easy.
Yeah, I think that was key shot for this rack. I mean, plumb on the 10, drop the 9 in. I mean, this is laying really nice, so should definitely get another game on the board.
Staying in line nicely. We'll be looking for the same thing in rack number 6, coming up to break again.
Well, especially with how well Albin has been breaking the balls too, my goal for playing Albin would probably be just to try and stay close to him, you know? As long as you can stick like 5 each, 6 each, eventually someone will make a mistake, you know? And that's just the only moment you gotta be there. Besides that, you just focus on hanging in there. Like Fabio has another break. If he can produce another one, 3 each, then it kind of puts the ball in Albin's court.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, he's playing and breaking so strong that if he has the lead, you know, expect him to kind of coast a little bit. Of course, he's a great player under pressure, but having the scoreline closer gives him more of a chance. Lost the squareness a little bit on that one, but made a ball.
Yeah, I think he's made more than a ball. Made 2 balls on the break, and not too many clusters, really. I mean, if you go solids, you kind of have to do work on the 8 ball, though. If you go stripes, maybe some shape on the 9. Could be tough.
Yeah, I might have to shoot the 9 in the top left or the left middle. You want to be avoiding the 9 in the left middle. He could go into the 8 right now. Small risk of getting stuck behind the same area that he's breaking into, but you'll want to develop that 8 at some point. Another chance now after 2. Yeah, in my opinion, you don't want to leave this 8 till too late in the rack. I mean, it really is available nowhere. If you got in between the 9-11 below it, you could shoot it in either corner pocket, but I don't think you'd want to rely on that. Another thing too is the 2's kind of got to go before the 7. Seven still would be available in the top left, but being so close to the rail, you'd want to favor it in the closer pocket. I think he's in a bit of trouble here, Tim. I mean, he's a great player. He can definitely find his way out of it, but the only play without a bit of luck that I see would be bringing the cue ball bit back behind the 9-11 on the final shot.
Yeah, it's tough because you could indeed run into the 8 from the 2, but just future on the 7 is so low, and
yeah, it's too late now. He's going to have to.
I would, if you play shape on the 7, you could shoot the 8 off the 12 in the corner, or maybe a bank on the 8. I might consider that. I mean, there's no way you're gonna, well, unless you have some angle on the 7 to run into the 9 and still get the 8, but just depends on what you kind of get here. He's gonna land very straight though. Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be only the bank or the call off the 12 that you were talking about. It's going at the bank. If anything, if he tried it off the 12, the 8 would be playing the long rail a little more. He's pretty straight on this bank. Shooting off the rail makes it tougher.
I just feel like the bank, you might play it a little bit too long, as in miss it on the short rail, because you're also trying to steer it away from the 12 ball a bit. I feel like it's more scary than trying to play it full into the 12, for example.
Yeah, and you're queuing off the rail, so you can't hit it with that much speed, which is going to tend to make the 8 ball a little long too.
Well, he has played an excellent shot there on the 8. Nicely done by Fabio Rizzi, making the score 3 each. That was kind of important there to make that bank on the 8. Missing that ball could have cost him the lead. Well, could have cost him a bigger lead. And Albin has 2 breaks now coming up, so the Frenchman hanging in there, down 3-1, now 3 each.
Yeah, requiring the 2 breaking runs when he needed it, and as you said, Tim, that was a big shot, especially leading into Albin's breaks. Big break from Albin. Ball down the side. He's on the 1 or the 9. Looks like the 3 passes the 12. I think it's going to favor solids here.
Well, let's see. Could he not potentially start with the 10 or the 9 in the side? I think the stripes aren't playing too bad either.
No, they're not. And yeah, the one thing about the 1 is the cue ball is kind of traveling towards the 7, which is not ideal. Might be able to draw out of it and slow it down.
Well, also, I'm not too sure. You might, when you play the 3, you might have trouble to get to the 5, unless you're straight and you can play to the short side. So the 7, I'm not too sure if the 7 goes in that center, looks tight. And then, well, he can, ooh, I don't know. I just feel like getting to the 5 is maybe a little bit odd.
Yeah, looks like he's got some angle going to the right here, and he could manipulate the cue ball just real close to the 13 and avoid it and shoot the 5 in the same pocket. That's a touchy shot. Also wants to take care of the 7. This is where it gets tricky playing 8 ball too. I mean, he'll have a plan now. He just took a good amount of time on that before hitting that last ball. But when you're in a spot like that where you have multiple shots, you really have to just kind of figure it out quickly and commit to whatever you're going to go with. It's pretty good on the 7 here. Going to have to come back into a pretty small window on the 3. But again, even if he's not straight, I believe there is an option to shoot the 5 in the same pocket. Might even try to play for that angle. Just make sure he's not running into the 15 with follow. He did. I think it's there, Tim. He's okay to get between the 15 and the 5 here. Well, it's actually running into the 15 a little bit.
I might draw this into the 13, like trying to catch the bottom, and then just kind of change the direction of the cue ball a bit, because yeah, it's laying a little bit funny. Oh, he's miscued. Wow, that was very unexpected.
He was just trying to play like a nip draw there. He knew he had a little too much angle and really had to get the cue ball reacting quickly. And that's when you can catch some unexpected miscues on plays like that. Mistake nonetheless, and a chance for Rizzi to take his first lead of the match here.
Yeah, we will find out very soon if the 10 does go. I mean, I thought for a second it did go. If it doesn't go, you might just roll on top of the 10 and stick the cue ball with the 9. I don't mind that at all, as long as you freeze it up on the 9.
Yeah, because the cue ball's kind of going away from the rest of the stripes if he does try to play it directly in. Could push the 9 along the left long rail and shoot it in the bottom left. And look out to the side, he's okay. Did well there to get enough draw on the cue ball that he kind of drew through the 9. One rail position, kind of coming in between the 9-13, have a good chance at pocketing any of them.
A little bit awkward queuing maybe, but it's a slight draw. So 13, 9, 11 to get to the 8. No, he's chosen to play the 11 first. It's a little bit off angle here on the 11 though.
Yeah, the 11 played a little better from the 8, but was just too much over top of the 9 and didn't want to draw the ball that much. Alright. It's okay here though. Gonna want some angle going to the left here, not quite clear if he has it. Doesn't need much. Seeing where he can put the cue ball now, and looks like he will be okay. Wow, and he's just trying to cheat the pocket there, and he's overdone it. Albin had his break cues out already.
Yeah, shocking things happening actually at the moment. Actually, I never expected Albin to miscue on that shot earlier on, but I also never expected Fabio to not clear up after he solved that 10 ball in the top left corner.
Have a little too much angle on the 3 here, but it's manageable. Might have to play it with some left spin if he goes in the side pocket.
Well, twice, back and forth. Almost perfect on the 8. didn't like to baby the 3-ball in, so put a little bit more stroke into it. Confident. And I'm not too sure how Eric, but he's won that game, and kind of a big thing.
Yeah, it's been a couple small turnovers from Fabio, missing the 6 on the side in an earlier rack, and definitely had a good opportunity in that rack that he didn't take advantage of. So he's going to have to hang in here. Really hoping to split the next 2 games. It is a race to 10, so we do have time in the match, but as we were saying, the further Ocean gets ahead, the more comfortable he'll be. And when he's been in his comfort zone in this tournament, he's been deadly.
Yeah, so slight lead, 4-3, and Albin breaking once more. Possibly breaking for a 5-3 lead again. But so far it has been close match. Couple mistakes from either, like you said, but for now it gives me a vibe we could be in for a very close finish.
Pop from Alvin this time, controlling the cue ball well. 3 balls down. Couple pairs of stripes tying up, and 3-7. A little tough for the solids. Actually made 3 solids on this one.
Yeah, kind of interesting because you don't really want to start the stripes, but he doesn't have a shot on the solids unless he's banking the 2. And I don't think the 3 or the 7 goes to the bottom right, so it's kind of impossible to break and run from here. I feel like it. It's never impossible, but low percentage, I feel.
Yeah, this is oddly a tough rack. I mean, you can get into the 950 on the right side of the table. I think he's going to do that off the 11 here.
Well, I do like the bank.
First. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Now he is going to run into the 14 a bit, so he's not going to end up straight on the 11. He might have to just make sure you make the ball and take the 12 to go back down again.
Got kind of a funny reaction with the object ball or the cue ball there. Maybe putting a bit of outside and the ball tightened up a little more than he would have thought.
Well, I kind of felt like he hit it just slightly too full from the beginning. Now, would you consider going very aggressive and cut the 3 into the 7? Yeah, I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
I think he has to. So you can't really play safe when Elvin has 6 balls on the table. Not from this spot anyways. Cue ball's going the wrong way here, but he does have to cut it a fair bit, so he will be able to get some energy in the cue ball going back towards the 1.
Well, has played an excellent shot there, yeah.
Definitely on the 3 if he wants to take it. He could take the 2-1 at this point as well. I think he will. Less cue ball movement in that play. top of the 8 here. Could be a real awkward stretch if he has to use the bridge. Yeah, he just knows how far he has to reach down the table, and with the elevation, it would make that reach even further. So going to try to contort his body over the side rail here. Nice shot. Not every day you see a player get up just sideways on the table like that.
Well, he is still young.
I like his style. I did one of his matches about a year ago in Puerto Rico. He looks a little stronger compared to a year ago.
Yeah, definitely has a big grind. It's just that he works full time and he doesn't travel all over the place to play pool. I mean, he just played 2 weeks of European Championship, so he must be in that punch now. That's why he's hanging in there so well. He's now tied 4 each.
So Fabio avoiding the 2-game lead from Albin. And really leveling the overall match scoreline here. Kind of back to square one. Both players on break, even though every break hasn't been won by the breaker. But no advantage at this point.
Well, both of them really crushing the break at the moment. Some great results. What do we have here? Let's see. I think stripes might be your best bet. I mean, how are you ever going to get on the 6?
Yeah, and if you can get an angle on the 15 running off the short rail and possibly into the 6-14, that'll work well. He has no throw on the 13 or the 11. Actually, the 9 plays over into the 15. 13's going to be a little tough going forward. Might have wanted to get on it right there, but he is on that 15 play into the 14 now if he likes.
Yeah, could also run into the 6 and the 14 with the 11 ball over the side, just creating maybe slightly more space. Then again, I'm not too worried about this 14 ball. That 13 is really... Yeah, I like the way how he's played that. Nicely done. Has to do something to get to the 13 as soon as possible.
Thing is, even if you do get on, the cue ball's kind of traveling to the right, and not much positives happen for the 10-14 when the cue ball's traveling to the right. Could draw in between the 1-7. Overhit it as far as the 13, still on the 14. You have to play it last now, Tim? Doesn't really matter, I guess. Maybe just try to get on it. If you like the angle, then you could take it second. That angle will play into being able to pocket 10 to them.
I probably would play now 2 rails. I was gonna probably go 2 rails on that 14. Run towards the 13 over the left side. Basically guaranteeing always a cut on the 13 to the left corner. And then, yeah, well, you have to play a monster shape from 13 to 10, but you still have to play a monster shape here too.
Yeah, well, he has to go 10 now because he doesn't have enough for the 13. It's on a good line coming back to the 13 here. Might have to play a bit of right spin.
Well, do you consider playing stun left towards the 3 ball?
You could. It's just a little more across the angle, but I guess the question on the other play is, can you straighten it out enough? And you're right, he is going 2 rails at this. All the way below it. We never thought about that. Came up short. Doesn't pass the 5, I don't think, Tim. No, he's going over and looking at the bottom left here.
Oh, you kind of have to. I would just play this to where I know I'm gonna run into the 7, and I'm not gonna care too much. Make the ball. Kind of have to take the gamble here. I mean, it's just not guaranteed shape. Even found the window. Look at this shape.
Between 5 balls, twice across. That'll work. So good recovery here from Fabio. So let's make one last good pot, but he'll be happy to be in this position.
Oh, all the hard work to miss the 8.
Left Alvin long here. Think about playing any kind of safe, because you're going to have to move the cue ball pretty far to the desired landing zone. Bit of a decision here for Albin.
Well, I don't mind going, for example, for a 5 ball, knowing that I'm gonna leave the cue ball. Maybe to play the 1 in the left center. Or let's say you shoot the 4, leave the cue ball in the top right corner. At least have the 1 and the 7 in between so your opponent has the jump. I actually think is called the 7 in the center, but he's gonna play safe behind the 3-5-4. And
nicely done.
Yeah, hasn't left a jump. Too many balls in between. Well, there is always a jump, but it's a tough one. Have to land just right after the 3 and make sure it doesn't hop too much into the 8. We'll lose the accuracy. This is such a tough jump. If he makes this, I might go nuts. Oh wow, this is unreal. How did he stay on the table there? Fabio Rizzi. What a shot.
Airborne on the short rail with the cue ball too.
Wow, that was unreal. Kind of a lost opportunity for Albin there to play safe. Could maybe have chosen to play it 2-way. But what a jump on that 8 ball.
If there's any knock on Albin, he is a little emotional, and you can see how, I mean, I get it, you know, Fabio was on a low percentage shot there, which he ended up pulling off in a weird way. But just how he approached the table and kind of, you know, threw the balls back to the racking end, and how he's sitting in his chair now, he could have had a small crack in his emotional game here.
Well, slightly advantage for the Frenchman. He's now breaking his second break in a row. could be up to a lead. Great break again. One ball in. Oh, look at the cue ball. Does he still have the option to play stripe or solid, or is it just a solid?
I think it's just solid. Maybe the 14 on the side if you really want it, but the cue ball would be pretty loose. You could play across it in the 14 here. Thing is, he only has the left side of the cue ball available, and that's going to play the cue ball back towards the 8 more than the 14. Talking about if he plays the 1 directly. So he is going to go out the 14. The natural angle is leading between the 10 and the 4. It's a good shot.
Oh, slightly overcut. Does that mean it wasn't on, maybe?
I don't know. I think it was just pretty thin. He was trying to make sure he cut it enough and just overdid it a bit. So turnover here for Albin.
Oh, that was a huge chance. I think Fabio realizes it too, that this was actually a really good chance to get a 2-game window in, and now Albin, obviously wide in the open, could just pick the stripes up. I mean, I don't think it will be too tough if he... Well, I mean, what is there to do? Just, yeah. If he can get to the 15, he's a little bit straight on the 10, but can play with draw, can get himself on the 13, 14, 12, 15. So many options he has. He's playing forward though again.
Yeah, the cue ball must be just drawing to the right a little too much. Watch out behind the 15 here. It's okay on the 14 still. Gonna have to run into the 12 here. Make sure he doesn't push the 12 towards the 6 too much.
Yeah, could play this a little firmer just in case. Either firm or you play the subtle bump, but could catch it wrong. Hasn't.
Nicely played. Likely back to the 15 now. He's overdrawn this by a lot, Tim. Had it in his mind that he had to get past the 2, but still he's overdrawn that by a foot. The cue ball is playing to the left of the 8. Speed's going to be a bit of an issue here.
And now on top of the 2, oh boy. He sure is making things super tough for himself right now.
Right frozen on the 2. Max elevation here to avoid the 2. Nice shot.
Yeah, so we're exactly halfway 5 each. What a match we've had so far. Albin will be breaking the coming 2 games though. In the meantime, you see Jasmine beating Linja Hjalmerström on the main TV table, or TV table 1. I don't think there's really a main in a second, but let's see if we have more results. Dennis Grabe, I believe the first to go through to the last 16, beating Balas Koles 10-6. Now Wojciech Chevchik 9-3 up over Miguel Silva, so he's close to the finish line. Kasper Matikainen jumped from 3 each up to 9-4 up against Christian Merva. Daniel Marshall, similar scoreline, 8-2 over Arseny Sevastianov. Oh, and he now has lost the cue ball. Look at all those balls going in too.
Good chance for Ritzi here. And if he runs out this, he'll be guaranteed at 6-all going into the final stretch of the match. It has to be noted, even when Albin was going up to break there, he was just kind of shaking his head, little unhappy about how the last rack went and quite stay in perfect line the whole time. But eventually, I think, you know, it's your own personality too. I'm like that at the table. I'm a little more emotional, but I think at this highest level, sometimes it, you know, it can just lead into negative thoughts and negative results.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. I kind of can be emotional too. I'm trying not to, but yeah, it's not that easy to not do it. And I mean, Albin in general is always quite calm, but he does have a temper, you know, so for him, sometimes when his brain starts going, it's super tough to calm down. And he still manages to win many matches while he is like letting his temper out, so I find that quite unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the part of it too. Is yeah, it's I've seen lots of times where he's in a similar kind of body projection and still wins the match, but like even now, just kind of hunched over like he is. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that you don't see a lot of the top players do.
Well, Fabio did land a little bit weird, off angle on the 9, doesn't want to run down table, and this 15, I think he can still draw in between the 9 and the 8, but has to be careful not to land behind the 8. Oh, he's pushed the 2 over. Is he still on the 9?
He is. It could have gone bad there, but he is okay. So he can avoid the scratch as well. Might even play into the point here to kind of kill the cue ball. Straight enough to hold it. Ritzi with the break of serve in rack number 11, and with the Ocean to break in rack number 12.
Yeah, unbelievable. Albin finally lost the cue on the break once. I haven't seen it in like 2-3 matches. Cue ball off the table, makes 3 balls. And Fabio picking up the pieces, 6-5 like you said. Race to 10. Has to get his emotions under control or take a timeout. I mean, either way is fine, but another mistake on the break here could be very costly for the Austrian.
Better on the break that time and quickly back to his chair. You can tell he's ready to get back at it here.
Well, I do feel he's kind of looking at the table, kind of more looking at it like there's problems than opportunities, though. Like, you could see it. First thing he looked over was, well, two piles of trouble, basically. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
I mean, the 10 will get him on the 15, or he could take the 15 now. So that's not the worst. And the 14 could bring him on the 9 ball. Will be tough. Could also shoot the 13 now. 13 and try to run into the 14, 6, 12, you know, just give everything a little nudge.
I like that, because even the 11 gets him back on the 15.
He is asking quite a lot here, though, from himself. Like, he had to get so perfect on the 14 to make the perfect bump, I feel like, on the 6, for example.
I think he's going to shoot the 9 next after the 14 and try to draw the cue ball kind of back into the 12.
Well, it would be nice if he can draw into the 6.
Sure, yeah.
Going into the 12, you might push it together with the 4, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the 7 ball helped him out.
It's okay on the 15. That was a pretty big roll there. If the 12 would have stayed stuck after that play, he would have been in big trouble. Still is not ideal here. He's got to come up with a 10 on the side. Ideally, have a chance to create some angle back towards the 11. Wrong angle. He can still shoot the 12 in the left middle. I think he's going to have to. Could play a lot of speed and draw and go over to the right long rail, but you want to avoid that much speed going into the side pocket.
Has run too far as well. Might have to shoot this in the top left corner if he... Well, it depends. I mean, could still go top short rail with right spin and get back to the center of the table, but I might as well just shoot this to the corner.
Yeah, I think he's going to favor the corner here. Missable ball.
Yeah, a little bit of stun follow, I believe. Top spin might find the cue ball in the left center. Yes, missed it.
It's not there, and big chance for Rizzi now to develop a 2-game lead. Just some unexpected mistakes from Albin, really. Just kind of piling on after that jump that Rizzi made. Seemed to get him out of sorts a little bit.
Well, I think I was not the only one that was surprised Rizzi actually made the 8 on that jump shot, but he did. Excellent shot, and you should not stick in that moment for too long. Of course, easier said than done. But this mistake could cost him a lot more. Rizzi with a chance to go 7-5 up and Rizzi breaking will be tough. Albin might be in big trouble soon.
Yeah, Ritzy broken ran his last 2 breaks.
Well, didn't really come up straight by any means on this 4. Could cross over or go top left to play the 8 in the same corner as the 4, but I mean, just wondering how are the nerves, you know? It's a big moment to take this lead against Albin.
And you got to kind of soft draw the cue ball here. It's easy to let up on the stroke on these type of shots. Big miss there. He's tied up the 11, but worst case Albin can just play the cue ball in line with the 11. I wonder if he'll get aggressive and try to draw back into it, Tim. You never know what's going to happen. He could kick the 4 in, he could hit the 4 and get safe somehow.
Well, based on how emotional he was in the last couple of games, I wouldn't be surprised if he draws into it. And as you can see, he is aiming low. I would probably just tap the 12 in front of the corner.
Good shot there.
Wow. Will be interesting to see what this missed opportunity will do to Fabio as well. Oh, that cue ball is gonna be glued to the rail.
Nice play. So after 12 games, we're all level now. Going into Ritzy's breaks.
Yeah, both gents could have decided to just play a race to 4, but they wanted to play a race to 10, right? So let's see.
I think Ritzy's going to go on a break here, and I think Albin's going to go on a break as well.
Well, that gives me a great opportunity to go over some more scores. Some great matches going on. Yannick Pongers and José Alberto Delgado tied at 7. So also a very close battle. Ricardo Gutjahr, David Zalman. David Zalman now 7-6 up. A player I've never heard of, George Kampourlidis from Greece. He's up 7-4 against Kęstutis Sadaikis from Lithuania. That's very interesting. Stefan Kasper, 8-4 lead over Tobias Bongers. Another interesting one is Michael Muklevic. He's up 8-5 over Daniel Gutenberger. Gotta say, quite some close matches. Another big grind is Carl Gnaderberg. He's up against Roman Hibler. 7-6. And maybe for the Austrian fans watching Albin, Maximilian Lechner is down 5-6 to Ante Sola from Croatia. Ante, who didn't play his best game during the European Championships, but now could be causing a big upset in the last 32. And now, last but not least, this one's interesting too. Joshua Filler is tied at 8 with Luca Men. So that is a killer match too. So many good matches. I probably have missed a couple results too, but we do have 16 matches going on, so I could forget one here and there, right?
Yeah, Stiller, the
So
current World 8-ball champion, has a chance to go down in the last 32.
yeah, we
Long
are
has
just
been a good bit of
currently
trouble.
waiting. Just currently waiting for Fabio Ricci to come back from his timeout. Now I'm just actually starting to wonder. No, okay, I was gonna say maybe Albin takes his timeout too, but he just probably went over to get some water, or not too sure. Won't be too long before Fabio is back. In the meanwhile, if you're looking for more results, live scoring, also the Women Eurotour is also going at the same time, so all this information is on epbf.com. Just check out the website, everything is there. They have a long archive too with results of like European championships of 20 years ago and all that stuff, so in case you really want to go deep into the history, you can. But we will continue here with this match. We're tied at 6. Ricci has 2 breaks. Could have had a 7-5 lead and then his 2 breaks. Failed to do so. So let's see if he actually feels a little better after taking a timeout. I mean, definitely that moment will be tough to forget. So, rec number 13, Eric Horlefsen and Tim de Ruyter in the booth.
Big break. 2 ball down, 6 ball falling in as well, and the 13. 3 balls down now.
Yeah, do I have to say, first glance at the table, I like the stripes a little better. I think the 4 and the 7 is a little bit weird to get to.
Yeah, if he's able to get on the 10 here fairly quick, it's looking like a positive wrap. Ten might even be available in the right middle. Go from the 15 to the 10. Underdrawn this a little bit as far as the 10. I'll go 14 here.
Yeah, I do understand he's trying to get rid of the 10, but it's not laying so nice at the moment.
Yeah, I don't believe the 9 passes in the left middle, so a bit of work to do in these last 3 balls. 9 definitely doesn't go past the 3. Would you ever run into the 4-7 here? I don't think so. Too tough on the pocketing. But if he shoots the 11, it's going pretty far away from the 10, and the 10's not affording him much.
I mean, I don't mind shooting the 10 and drawing back to play the 11 in the side. It's just a little bit trickier to play. He's going forward, leaving himself probably straight on the 11 but long. Doesn't want to go all the way to the rail.
Yeah, a lot of distance here, and big shot coming from Ricci. He's missed the ball in the previous game, so we're going to have to erase that thought from his mind. Nice shot.
Big shot there. Nicely done. I do believe he's all right on the 9. Still needs another decent shot, but could be worse. Just don't think he can get to the top side of the 3. I think he has to go right in between the 3 and the 8. So a little bit more sensitive cue ball. Oh well, he's playing top spin, so maybe can get there.
Just enough to run into the 3. Nice shot.
So this 8 for another breaker run. One of the 2 breaks Rizzi has. Now both players actually breaking the balls really well. I think that's one of the reasons why this match has been so tight all over this match. I mean, with making that many balls on the break, you kind of have to favor them to run out most of the games.
Rizzi again, looking to extend his lead one more game here. Going to Albin's bricks. Huge pop. Nice and squarely hit. Good spread. 14
Yeah, just
and 8,
the 14.
The problem balls. Yeah. Could go 5-2 and open up the 8. Fabio's done this a couple times where he's kind of left that tougher ball till the end of the rack. I mean, where he's starting now, it's almost like he's going to clear out the whole top side of the table. Gonna have to make a good shot with only 2 left at the end of the rack.
Well, I have to say, he could go 6, 7, 3, 5, got the 2 in, and the 8 pushes the 14 out. As long as you play, don't give yourself a too big of an angle on the 2, but I think it's quite manageable to get the shape on the 8. Oh, he's a little bit close to the rail, and if he floats this level cue, could get behind the 12. Chose a different route, a little bit less sensitive. Now also, I don't mind shooting the 5, play that carom 2 into the 8, play the 2 in and carom the 8, knowing that you have the 3 or the 7 available.
Yeah, I agree, and I was just thinking about doing this earlier in the rack. I mean, it's preference. He didn't have much risk running the balls to the top of the table. Just always want to guard against something funny happening here with less solids left on the table. He should be okay. If he hits the far side of the 8, the cue ball will continue on and should get a shot on the 3.
Uh-oh. I'm so surprised he's played it that firm. I think could have catched the right side of the 8. Oh, this is a tough shot. Every time he has the opportunity to take a 2-game lead, this is happening. I mean, surely he can still run out, but so nervy.
Similar to the shot he played in the last rack. Got it again.
Wow. Wonderful cueing there on the 7. Excellent shot. Great shape on the 3. I think I got him mad because I said he was not gonna get that double lead, but this 8 to prove me wrong.
Yeah, he's feeling it now.
Ooh! Used all of the corner, but he's up 8-6. And everything will depend on Albin's break. I mean, we know both of them have been breaking really well, but everything can happen playing 8-ball. We know that very well, don't we?
Yeah, and if you look at the overall how the breaks are going to go, even if Albin pulls back 2 here, Fabio's still going to have 2 more in game 17 and 18. So it's a decent favor going forward here. Main goal for Fabio would be get just 1 more, and then he'll have 2 breaks at winning the match. Perfectly hit. Ball's fighting to get in the pockets. And this one's pretty open, Tim.
Yes, indeed. I think actually this would be his best break of the match. If you looked at the cue ball too. Just the 15 last second kind of got close to the 14, so that makes the stripes a little bit awkward if he was going to go for stripes. If you can get to the 2 ball as soon as possible, I don't think it's too horrible, but how to get there?
Yeah, he had a little look at going underneath it, going into the short side of the 2. In that case, I think the cue ball is going to be running into the 11-10, which still could play okay, but I kind of like coming to the middle of the table for the 2. Even off the 4 right now will work.
Yeah, I like to be just next to the 9, but
I
mean, there's quite
the 1. Yeah.
What about you play the 3 ball now and go 2 rails and try to land next to the 9? If you get it.
Might. Not quite there, but he can still get there now off the 5.
Well, I do like the fact that he can kind of float in between that cluster at the bottom,
Get
like he with just yeah. I mean, I think the path kind of runs right through it. If you let's say you play towards the 10.
Nice shot, and he's next to the 10, but he will have the bottom of the cue ball here if he needs it. I think he will. Tangle moving to the right here. He has a little bit, but gonna have to hit more speed than ideal.
Could choose to go forward over the short rail with top right. A little bit more deflection into the ball instead of playing the stun. But if you're a little bit choppy on the stun, you might hang the ball trying to move the cue ball over.
Got it down,
really
so first reply. Right.
Really let the pocket eat the ball there on the 1, I felt like, but like you said, he does get the job done again. 1 out of 1 on these 2 breaks. Is he able to tie the score at 8? Or does Rigi get another look at the table? Well, this time not finding the balls going towards the side, but has made one in the top right corner. Pretty decent first view at the table, I would say. Could potentially go stripes and run into the 6 ball to where he will have the 10 right after. And then after that, I believe all the stripes are pretty available. I mean, even if you do not land great on the 10, you might have just opened the 6 and the 7 out. And then you can always take the 12 or the 9 and try to get back on the 10 later on.
Yeah, I think the biggest risk there is the cue ball's traveling decently diagonally towards the short rail, so it's kind of tough to shorten the cue ball up enough and hit the 6, but it's going to have to try here. Yeah, he knew that, so just went right into it. Smart shot. Open it up nicely. And good now for Ocean. We didn't want to hit the 11 or the 1 there.
Yeah, has made it a little bit tougher to get to the 11, I feel.
Yeah, it's going to have to get into a pretty small zone between the 5 and the 4. And more cue ball movement than ideal. Looks like he might have just got there. No, 5's blocking him. Unless he's just looking over at how the 9 and the 14 are playing. This can play okay, back onto the 11, and then 1 rail across for the 9. Actually a decent amount of room there. Just has to make sure he doesn't come up short this time. He hasn't, looking good now. Lost the cue ball here. Pretty much over top of the 8 where he can't really draw at it, so he's going to have to leave more distance on the 8 now. A small angle going to the right. But again, just getting a little out of line with the cue ball here. Thinking maybe he has the left side of the cue ball and he can kind of get into it with a little more speed where he won't leave as much distance.
Wow, what a match. This 8 to get us tied at 8. That would be crazy. And 2 out of 2 breaker runs for Albin if he makes the 8 here.
Played. It's going to come down to the wire now. Ritzy will have the next 2 breaks, so really fate of the match in his hands if he is to break and run all the way out. But again, with the pressure mounting, see how he's able to deal with it.
Yeah, only a race to 2 from here for a place in the last 16. One of these great cueists will have to leave the tournament, unfortunately, tonight. This is crunch time, as they say. Moment suprême in French. Let's see. Ritzy has 2 breaks. Can he make 2 golden ones to close out the match.
14's gonna go. Decent spread. Be nice for Ritzi if the 6 or the 10 pass in the top left. I have a feeling they both do. It's close. Could start with the 12 here and try to get on the 10. 11's a little easier on the pocketing.
Well, probably 11, 15, 10, and then use the 12 to get back to the bottom of the table. No. Chose to go 12, 15. I just don't like to travel off the 10. That's why I really like to play 15, 10 and use the 12 to come back down table.
Yeah, if you were to shoot the 10 third in this sequence, you have to get a really small angle to be comfortable coming back towards the 9, 11. He recognized that, so he purposely played down to the 9 here.
Yeah, I do think he doesn't have a straight shot on the 15 to where he can position himself perfect, so he's still playing the 9. Now, I don't mind. Let's say you would run into the 8 ball and just push it over just a slight bit. I don't really mind it at all. He didn't. How is he gonna make sure he doesn't run into the 7-5 now? Is he gonna shoot the 10 first? Can he still check away from trouble?
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to hold and shoot the 10 first. Might have to go in between the 7-5 here. Check's gonna play a little too much angle going to the right off the 15. Oh, he got trapped. Does he have the edge to pocket it? He does, but he's still in trouble in the overall rack here.
Wow. Really looked at that 11 ball different. Felt like it was kind of obvious that he was gonna land into the 7, and if he had played it softer, he would have had the 10 to draw back maybe the 15 in the side and 8. So options were there. No,
he's going to try to stun in between the 1 and 2. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, stun right in between the 1, 2, and then with left spin try to get back all the way where the 15 is now, but needs something basically. Even if he can hit the 10. Can hit the 10. I mean, he's has to make like a fantasy shot, but
so how about let the 6 double kiss the 10 over to the right middle. It's not really on the right angle. I don't even think he can cut it enough.
Yeah, I haven't really seen too much, honestly. Maybe off the 3, off the 6, off the 3, but no.
Almost went. Wow.
Well, I gotta say the 10 really didn't land too bad to where... I mean, Albin surely can play safe, but Ritzi might get another shot at maybe kicking the 10 ball in, or possibly another crazy jump. Now, before I said I like to go a little bit of a two-way, but this time, yeah, he's playing the 7 to the bottom left. But he's basically just playing the cue ball, so why not just play the 2 and follow the cue ball? There is an out for Ritzi.
Yeah, Yeah, I can try to kick it in the top right here. Going back to his chair for his jump cue. It's an extremely tough jump. He might have just forgot his chalk.
Could possibly kick it in the side pocket as well. Oh, this is tight though. I mean, 5 might be in between, and he's running out of time too.
Tough. So Albin with the break here in rack number 17. Fabio will have one more break to try to make it hill-hill, but it'll be passed back over to Albin in the hill game. He is to get out here. Nicely on the 1 where he can get into the short side of the 4 now. Well, straight on the 4 here. Does have the 2 or the 7 if he's able to get a little draw out of the cue ball. Looking good now. Been a great match to watch, Tim. Couple twists and turns, couple spots where players playing great shots and making some high-level outs.
Yeah, it hasn't been just a break and run galore. I mean, it has had quite some great shots too, if you think about it. I mean, they both have really come up with big shots. And it's Albin who's on the hill now first, 9-8 after a failed opportunity for Rizzi. Broke the balls nicely, made a ball on the break, did not get out. So he does have one more break to go, possibly to make this a hill-hill match.
Been breaking well as far as pocketing success on the break. He's I think only had one dry break. Four balls.
You would say he's made enough balls on the break to get this match to a hill-hill match. Is he able to capitalize on this? Kind of have to go stripes, because unless you shoot the 6 first, but I'd rather not mess with all that at this moment. I'll go stripes and go right at the 9 ball right now.
Yeah. Well done. Doesn't want to be on the rail, but he's off of it enough that he can manipulate the cue ball a bit if he needs to. This ball's got to go before the 14, so look for him to get on the 12 here. I'm
actually surprised he put that big of a stroke on there. I probably would have settled for just step it in and take whatever on 11 or 15.
Yeah, pardon me, I called it the 12, but it was the 11 up table there.
It would be nice if he can get on the 14 at the same time. That would be great. Yeah, just like that. Just slightly forward or slightly back. I mean, could draw and go two rails towards the 8, right? I think that's
I like the drop
my favorite.
into the angle. Yeah.
Well, I think this match kind of deserves a hill too. If you look at overall performances from both have made a couple mistakes, but both have also been breaking the balls great, and some break and runs from both as well. So overall, fair to say, this match should go to a hill, and he's, as you can see, straight on the 8. So we will go to a hill match.
With the break and rack number 19.
Well, only one break for Albin. Big breath. Very deep, big breath. Needs to make a ball on the break. This is the last 32 of the Predator Arc 8-ball Eurotour. Winner advances to the last 16. Loser is out. This is it. How well as he broke the balls, and that 9-ball just going in last minute.
I'll tell you what there, Tim, the middle of the rack didn't look like it separated like it usually would if it was hit that well. And you can see 4 balls still in the racking area. Got a little lucky to make the 9, but he's still at the table here.
Well, he certainly is not happy with the spread. Also, his opening shot is either a combination 14-1 or, I mean, a really difficult shot, maybe the 10-4 or the 11. So I kind of do like to go for the 1 ball, but the 3 doesn't go in the bottom right. So this is kind of tricky.
Yeah, combo on the 14-1 back to the 7, down for the 5 maybe. The 3 does pass in the bottom right once the 5 is gone. Look at this, Tim. Wow.
What a big shot he's taking on. Well, he has come up with a fantastic shot there on the 10, especially the shape on the 14. Let's see, 14, 15, and then play the 11 in the side to get to the bottom. Now, the only thing I can see going wrong is possibly landing with the wrong angle on the 13 and the 12, like an angle going up on the 12 and an angle going down on the 13.
Or even the 11. I mean, it is possible to get a little funny here. I don't think he'll get on the wrong side of it, because the 7 is kind of playing a more angled in the second rail, where he's going to lead into having an angle going to the left. It's actually considering the corner, Tim. I'm surprised. Feels like he just can't get straight enough.
kind of feel like shooting the 11 to the corner makes speed control tougher, and look at what he's done. He could be in big trouble here. He's ran too far. We'll have to go into the long rail and back out. We'll have to land like straight-ish on either the 13 or the 12. Needs a big stroke here.
Yeah, and the way the cue ball is playing over, it's going to naturally have some left on it, which is going to kind of lead into the cue ball playing into too much angle on the 12. Nice shot. Not perfect.
Well, this is that in-between angle.
Yeah, can he draw off the 3?
I think it might be his only out. I mean, I just don't see. It's that or draw the 12 and then drop the 13 in and take a long 8. But obviously that's not. It's not the most comfortable either.
Shot if he's not on the rail, he's not, so he can get a little angle being straighter on the 8. Good out here from Alvin so far, coming with the goods under pressure. Tough loss for Fabio, tough to fault him. Couple of times where he could have gone 2 games ahead. And there it is, final 8 for Alvin Ocean. He'll be advancing to the final 16. That's the last round of the day here in Tallinn, Estonia. Final 16 of the women's and men's events coming up tomorrow. Be sure to tune in for all the great action. We're going to get all the way down to the finals tomorrow, so big day. For Tim DeRuyter, this is Eric Orlovson. Talk to you soon.